Knights of Guinevere isn't just an amazing show. It's one of the boldest and most unapologetic animations I've seen in years. And underneath all the chaos and trauma, kinda feels like Dana Terrace giving Disney the biggest middle finger she could animate. It's one of those projects that feels like it has something to say. It's weird, emotional, and kind of brutal in all the best ways. But the more I watch it, the more I couldn't shake this feeling. This doesn't feel like it's just a story about trauma and control. It feels more personal. I mean, it's made by Dana Terrace, the creator of Owl House, a show that Disney cancelled way too early, supposedly because it was too dark, mature, and didn't fit the brand. And now she's back with a story that's dark, mature, and involves a burned out worker trapped in a fake fantasy park who literally flips off a giant princess statue. Like, come on. I'm not saying this show is 100% about Disney. It's a great show with a brilliant plot, well thought out characters, and amazing world building. But they definitely took a few shots at Disney. So let's talk about how Knights of Guinevere might actually be Dana Terrace's way of processing her time at Disney. From metaphors baked right into the story to digs hidden in the background, and why Andy might actually be Dana in disguise. Before Knights of Guinevere, Dana Terrace made The Owl House, one of the best shows Disney's ever put out. And then they took it out back and shot it for no reason. It was smart, weird, emotional, and it treated its audience like actual human beings and not some marketing demographics. But according to Dana, that was the problem. In a Reddit AMA, she explained that The Owl House didn't fit Disney's brand. Apparently, a few executives decided the show skewed too old and didn't match this one guy's taste. That's it. Years of work, a huge fan base, awards, all gone because some executive wanted something more on brand. And that's the kind of nonsense that burns creators out. Imagine pouring your heart into something only for your boss to say, yeah, that's too good for the target audience. It's easy to see why Dana might have felt alienated, working at a place that sells imagination while putting a limit on yours. And that's what makes Knights of Guinevere so personal. It's like everything she couldn't say at Disney finally being let out. Andy's story about working at a giant corporate park, feeling exhausted and alienated, but still needing the job, feels way too specific to be a coincidence. And the blue lung disease, the one literally killing workers at the park, that might as well be a metaphor for burnout. Because when your dream job starts poisoning you, what else can you call it? The world of Knights of Guinevere revolves around Park Planet, a place where fantasies become reality, full of wonder, color, and artificial joy. It's the kind of place that promises you magic while quietly hiding what makes it work. And honestly, Park Planet kind of feels too much like Disneyland. Bright, magical, and built on selling joy like it's a product. Everything about it screams forced happiness. The shiny towers, the grinning mascots, the perfect princess plastered on every wall. It's the kind of place that looks magical until you realize someone's probably crying in the employee restroom. And the show doesn't even try to hide it. It feels like Park Planet is taking a dump on the people of M7. Literally. There's this moment in the show where Frankie, one of the main characters, looks up at the park from below. It's glowing, beautiful, this dreamlike paradise. Until it literally starts dumping trash on the people living underneath. It's such a perfect metaphor for how the entertainment industry treats its workers. Polished smiles and fireworks up top, and exhaustion and burnout underneath. In the title sequence, there's this quick shots of notes plastered all over a drawing of Princess Gwen. Stuff like keep dilated is equals to more appealing, no wrinkles, and too violent. It literally looks like the kind of feedback animators and writers get from execs. Those make it more marketable and brand friendly notes. You can practically feel the creative frustration in that one frame. Then there's this clear dig at Disney's new live-action obsession. We see an online announcement for a new live-action Gwen movie. You can see quotes on the screen like no one asked for it so we're making it and this princess can save herself. And you can look at the chat and people are saying things like this is straight ass and lol just stop. And Park Planet is creatively dead, and I feel so bad for the generation. That's literally my feelings for Disney right now. After seeing them turn every classic into a CGI film nostalgia crash grab. Then there's this red carpet scene with Olivia and Gwen making a public appearance for what looks like a Gwen movie premiere. And it kind of seems like how Disney execs and CEOs are showing up at these big events and announcing their movies. Olivia's a bit older in this scene and she's wearing her father's coat, a clear sign he's gone. But with all this futuristic tech and robots we see in the world, you have to wonder, is he really gone? Maybe this might be leaning into that old Walt Disney theory, the whole frozen until the future thing. But that might be me looking too much into things. Watching Knights of Guinevere, it's hard not to see a reflection of Dana in Andy. Andy works for Park Planet, this overbearing, shiny corporate dreamland that looks magical on the outside but quietly crushes everyone keeping it running. That's literally Disney. Andy hates her job, but she needs it to survive. She's brilliant, creative, and totally aware she's part of something corrupt. But what choice does she have? That's the same kind of exhaustion Dana hinted at during the cancellation of the Owl House. Overworked, boxed in, and powerless to change the system. Andy's blue lung feels like that taken to a physical extreme. Her body breaking down from the fumes of the very place she works for. It's poetic in a messed up way. The park is killing her the same way burnout kills passion. Even the way Andy's treated hits close to home. The people of M7 resent her for working at the park, while the park doesn't value her at all. She's stuck between worlds, never fully belonging to either side. You can imagine Dana feeling the same way. Adored by fans, respected by creatives, but still carrying that Disney employee label. When the company itself feels like this cold corporate machine, even other artists might have seen her as part of the system. That kind of alienation cuts deep, especially for someone who clearly just wants to make good shows. And then there's that scene. Andy flipping off the giant Princess Gwen statue. It's quick, it's simple, but it says everything. That one gesture feels like the collection of everything we've been talking about. Years of burnout, alienation, fighting to stay creative inside a machine that doesn't care. It's not just Andy's rebellion, it's Dana's too. It's her way of saying, you don't get to own my stories anymore. After everything, the cancellation, the corporate interference, the pressure to make things more appealing, this tiny defiant moment becomes the perfect middle finger to Disney. It's funny, it's raw, and it's the kind of creative freedom you can only get once you've walked away from the castle gates. If Knights of Guinevere is Dana's screw you to Disney, that scene is the exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. Knights of Guinevere isn't just a cool pilot, it's a statement. It's what happens when artists finally get to tell their stories without a boardroom full of execs breathing down their necks. It's messy, it's dark, it's personal, and that's exactly why it works. Big studios don't want shows like this because they can't control them, and that's the beauty of it. This is what creativity looks like when it's actually free. So if you care about animation, real, weird, passionate animation, support projects like this. Share them, talk about them, boost the people making them. Because the more we support indie creators, the less power the corporate machine has to decide what stories get told. And honestly, after everything Dana's went through, watching Knights of Guinevere feels like watching someone finally get their art back.
Oh, come on, man.
A lot of emotion influences your art and a lot of your past experiences. Would you say that's like a running theme throughout Knights of Guinevere?
Yeah, I think it's a running theme throughout any artist's art. You start with a feeling, you try to grab onto that feeling, whether it comes from your head, your heart, your stomach, and you wrestle it out of you like a worm that's buried itself into your skin.